Hi everyone, it's Max here from Fill the Gap Education, and today we're going to be talking about spending, which is the third key pillar of financial education. Now, spending is a funny one, and I think from the day we got our first ever pocket money paycheck, visit from the Tooth Fairy, and we were trusted with that 50p to go down to a local shop and buy a drink or a packet of crisps or whatever it was, our attitudes towards money were formed, and they've been built and shaped by our friends, by our family, and by our societies around us. And most of them typically will be quite hedonic. Most of them will be get money, spend money. That tends to be people's approach. And to be honest, it's pretty hard to have anything else. We live in a society where obviously we live in a capitalist economy and you have to spend money for companies to grow. And like, if you think about my other videos on investing, we need that sort of growth to actually get our savings accounts up, right? So it's all interlinked. But spending is a funny one, because quite often people spend money when they probably shouldn't. They spend more money than they should anyway, and probably should be spending a bit more of that and saving it, putting it into an investment account. But it's never been more easy to spend your money. There's never been more investment in market research, spending on social media advertising, and understanding about all of our subconscious wants and needs, and then ultimately turning that into money for businesses. I mean, there are people getting paid thousands of pounds to just work that out, right? I mean, nowadays it's ridiculous. You could be 3 swipes into Instagram and have a pair of trainers in your checkout box about to part with your cash, but then actually you don't even need to part with your cash now, because apps like Klarna mean that you can delay that payment. So, think about our psychology of our brains. We're getting the satisfaction of what we want, and we're not even having to forego anything. We're not even having to pay the cost of money. We can actually get the trainers and not even have to pay now. And so it's all very, very easy to spend money, basically. But what you'll probably be thinking is that's maybe not the best way. And in times like this, where you're watching videos like this on self-improvement and financial education, it's quite easy to think, no, that's irrational. But that's just avoiding the fundamental concept of and our psyche, our fundamental biology is that we are prone to buy things that we probably don't need, and spend our money on stuff. Let me just tell you a quick story which may make you rethink that, and may make you realise, or a quick visualisation. So I want you to close your eyes. I'm going to do it as well. And I want you to think about the time when you've seen someone driving a very expensive car down a high street. Think about that moment, put yourself in those shoes, of seeing that someone driving a very expensive car down a high street, maybe that's very loud and revving their engine, and everyone turns their heads and has a look. Think about what you experience in that moment. Now, do you envy them, or do you envy what they have? You might not be into cars. I guess this could apply if you're thinking about trainers or something that you envy, but it works most with cars. You get the idea. Now you can open your eyes again. You probably don't envy the person, right? You're actually probably thinking, you're looking at that person thinking, gosh, they're a bit full of themselves, they're a bit of an idiot. Or you actually probably would have said, if you were with someone, you're like, oh, what an idiot, right? But that would be you if you were to earn money and buy something like that. The point of that visualization, that story, is that the things that you really want in life can't be bought. The things that you really want are respect from your peers. You want good friendships. You want, long-lasting happiness. All of those things are never going to come from an external, like a car or a pair of shoes or something like that. In fact, they're probably going to do work the opposite. And most people are going to look at you and think, oh, don't like them. Because the fact is, people don't envy the person who has those things. They envy the thing itself. But actually, you'd become that person if you were to own it. And so it's a little bit silly. And when you apply a rational mindset to it, of course you can see. But like I said, it's tough to be rational when it comes to spending, because we live in an age where it is so easy to make those impulse purchases, when that £100 is probably better off going into an investment account. Of course it is, because that is going to give us freedom in our future life and be able to get all the things that we want, like better holidays or support for our children, or just having that financial security, that comfort and that confidence when it comes to finance, better mental health when you think about your bank account. Those things don't come from spending. So next time you have a pair of trainers or whatever it might be, so the next TikTok product that they want you to buy, Just think about that story and think about actually the real things in life, the most valuable things in life. They can't be bought. They really can't. But there are some ways which you can actually offset that. So I'll just give you 2 little tips and tricks which I recommend using to try and reduce this spending. So the first thing is that direct deposit. Now, I've spoken about in videos before, but if you direct deposit money out of your bank account every single month straight into that investment account, then you're not even going to see it and it's not there for you to spend. So it takes that one issue away, because actually if you don't have the £100 to spend because you've already invested it, you'll be like, actually it's easier to resist because this money's not there. To go crazy on payday. The second thing is to actually, when you're out and about and you maybe forego a snack or something like that, you maybe say, I'm not going to buy the coffee today because I want to invest it. You're in that mindset. Right there and then, because like I said, all this tech, it's really easy to put this money into your investment account. Transfer that money into your investment account. So you can be smug. You've actually saved that £3.50. That £3.50 is working for you in 10, 20 years time. That £3.50 could pay for a holiday. Who knows? Who knows? So those are some 2 little practical things, but really you have to remind yourself. People talk about Charlie Munger, who's a very famous investor, one of the most famous investors of all time. He has this thing called mental models. And essentially what mental models are just words, just sentences that you can hold in your mind when something like this happens. And a great mental model if you want to reduce your spending is to think of that scenario, is to remind yourself the most valuable things in life cannot be bought. Remind yourself of that every single time. But the fundamental fact and the fundamental point of this spending section is that you've got to ask yourself who you want to be. Do you want to be someone that is a consumerist who just, buys stuff and accumulates things and possessions which don't really add any fundamental value to your life? Or do you want to be someone who maybe puts value elsewhere, puts value in nurturing and investing their time in their future or in their personality and their character? Ultimately, that choice is yours. And probably, if you think back to that dilemma about where you're going to spend your money, and if you're going to spend it on something like a pair of shoes or a car, then I think you know where I'd go. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I've been Max from Fill the Gap Education. Please like, please comment, please subscribe and share on any other social media. I love interacting with people. I love hearing what you have to say. Let me know what videos you want to see, what you liked about this one, and let's keep in touch. Cheers.